What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me and hear me clearly. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, make sure everything's running smoothly, and go ahead and get her started. We're going to be starting off with the first video titled, Lawyer Intimidated, Jury Decide with Antifa over Andy No. Andy No was going to court against Antifa. Not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's a criminal case. I think it's liability, and they ruled against him. They have on video Andy No getting roughed up by Antifa, and I think he's trying to sue them for hospital bills, and the court just ruled in Antifa's favor, saying even though they were roughing him up, they're not liable to pay for his hospital bills. Of course, just some more blue team stuff going on. Then we have a video titled Dems Expect a Surprise from Trump's Trials. All the Democrats out there are celebrating Trump being indicted and all this, and they have really high hopes, and they're very open about it, about how they hope they take all his freedoms away and lock him away and all this stuff. And it kind of reminds me of when he got banned on Twitter, because he got banned and everybody celebrated. They were like, oh, it's great, he's censored from Twitter, and then Twitter and everybody else started censoring all of us, and then people got all butthurt and stuff. So it was fine when they were taking his freedoms away, but when he takes any of our freedoms away, then all of a sudden it's a big deal. This is another dose of that. Then we have a video titled Blindsided, Entire Police Department in Minnesota City Quits. Whole police department has had enough. They're making as much as McDonald's employees over at McDonald's. Why be a cop if you could just go wash dishes and make the same money? Then for the last video we're going to show on YouTube, it is titled New York City Bans TikTok on Government-Owned Devices. They try to make it seem like it's in the interest of national security, but I think it's something else. I don't think it's a national security thing. I just don't. The government doesn't care about anything that has to do with our well-being. So I don't think the whole banning TikTok thing is working in that way. I think it has to do with the government not having control over TikTok, so they want to demonize it, but that's just my thoughts. So then we're going to cut off YouTube, and on the rest of the platforms we're going to show a video titled Alec Baldwin Could Be Charged Again in Fatal Rust Shooting. Apparently he got out of that by saying he never pulled the trigger. I knew he got out of it, but I didn't know exactly why, and that's it. He claimed he didn't pull the trigger. They threw the case out. Now they're saying that it's impossible for the gun to have gone off without pulling the trigger, which makes sense, but either way, it's coming back to court. Some imagery on there. It's a little too spicy for YouTube, so we'll be showing that everywhere except for YouTube. Let's make sure everything is running smoothly, and we'll go ahead and get her started. What's up, Annette? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here on the website. What's up, all the hooligans over on the website? We're over here looking real good on Rumble. Rumble was down for a little bit right before we went live. I don't know how long they were down, but they were down, and I was worried that we weren't going to be able to be live on Rumble, but it looks like they got things worked out. What's up, Snooks? What's up, Pumpkin? What's up, Madeline? What's up, Old BR? What's up, Ting Ting? What's up, Breezy? What's up, Astral Hammer? Astral Hammer, I will write you back. I know I'm taking forever. I've had a hard last couple days, but I will write you back. Happy freedom, all of you hooligans over here. Make sure I don't forget anybody. What's up, Skybear? What's up, JT3? What's up, Destiny? What's up, Chucky? What's up, Paul? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Oh, Odyssey. Think we're running. Oh yeah, there we go. We're all good. Oh, I see the one, Snooks. Okay, we're all good on Odyssey. What's up, everyone over on Kick? Let's see where the line is here. Drop a screaming goat. There we go. Happy freedom, all you guys over here on Kick. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Mr. Beans and Beans? What's up, Tom Tom? Happy freedom, you hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on YouTube? Appreciate you guys being here. Scroll to the top. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Nanner Nose? What's up, Checkpoint Crazy? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Jerry? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Casper? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Robert Jr.? What's up, Phil? Phil, you're from Niles? That's where I'm from. I don't live there anymore. That's where I grew up. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Anthony? What's up, Seppa? What's up, Leonardo? What's up, Shism? Happy Freedom. What's up, JT3? You're omnipresent. What's up, Raymond? Raymond, what happened to your other account? Did it get banned? What's up, Mustafa? What's up, Dharma Agent? Happy Freedom. What's up, Susan? Appreciate you being here. Just reading through the chat real quick. What's up, Dirt Roads? What's up, Da Bomb? Love the beats. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We will have new beats coming soon because Donna Sparks got me the new version of Fruity Loops software, FL Studio for production. So we'll have some new beats coming soon. Robert Jr. Mike Lindell is revealing the plan to secure the elections today. I seen that he was live. I think he's live on Getter right now also. I seen that. I don't know, we covered the Emporium that he did and nobody showed up to the lives. So that's why I haven't been covering it. Because when I covered it when it all mattered, nobody showed up. Nobody wanted to come watch it. So that's why I haven't covered it. And the people who did watch, they just showed up to bitch about Mike Lindell. So I don't know. I've seen all this stuff going on. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what's up and down. What's up, Matt? Appreciate you being over here on the website. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get her started. This first video is titled, Lawyer Intimidated Jury to Side with Antifa Over Andy No. Oh yeah, go get you a Screaming Goat t-shirt. Go get you a Screaming Goat t-shirt. I'll drop the link in the chat while you're watching this video. Once again, lawyer intimidated jury to side with Antifa over Andy No. Andy No taking Antifa to court.
They have it on video. That was back in 2019 when investigative reporter Andy No was violently attacked for simply just covering Antifa demonstrations in Portland, Oregon. Fast forward to May 2021, he gets attacked again while reporting undercover at another Antifa rally, which landed him in the hospital. And for years, Andy No has been trying to hold Rose City Antifa accountable, even bringing a civil lawsuit against them. But after going to trial in about 5 hours of deliberation, the jury in far-left Antifa country, they ruled against him. It's amazing. Joining me now to discuss the man himself, post-millennial senior editor and New York Times bestselling author Andy No, alongside his attorney, Dorothy Yamamoto. Dorothy, I'll ask you first, how in the heck did this just get thrown out? It's on video.
I know. Yeah, so the incident that was just shown was a June incident in 2019, and actually those defendants defaulted. So there wasn't actually a trial against them. They will be held accountable. But the May 2021 attack that you mentioned, we did have the defendants, those were tried before the jury. And amazingly, the jury did find them not liable, despite a confession from the defendant, from one of the defendants, to the acts, and overwhelming evidence, in my opinion, that supported their involvement in the May 2021 attack. So it was a very disappointing verdict.
Well, Andy, the defense attorney really told jurors, said, I am Antifa. I mean, is this not some sort of bigger problem here? Do you have an appeal planned? Is there another court you can step up to?
Well, right now I'm still considering my legal options. It's only been a week since that devastating verdict. The whole trial was marred by security incidents that were happening inside the courtroom, inside the courthouse, and outside the courthouse. The judge informed the parties that the jurors were very scared throughout the trial, and actually on the final day, of the trial, the judge sealed the jury roll to protect their identities because there was apparently an attempt to try to identify who these jurors were. And within that context, in the closing statements from one of the defense attorneys, she did make a defense for Antifa and said that she was going to be wearing a shirt that says, "I am Antifa." And one of the last things she said is that I will be remembering all of your faces. So I do wonder if jury intimidation is at play here, given all the security incidents that happened.
But Andy, I'll stay with you here on this, but if we live in a world, like, you literally are uncovering fascism, okay? People who use force to implement their agenda, using intimidation, and you literally go into court saying that, and fascism was used to rule against you for being assaulted.
Well, I think in places like Portland and other big city jurisdictions, you have a population who has been brainwashed, in my opinion, with a lot of propaganda for years now about what Antifa is. I think that's part of the reason why I work so hard on this particular beat, because Antifa is not about anti-fascism. It's about violent extremism. It's about criminal organizing. And I tried my best to illuminate that in my reporting. And where relevant, I explained that in my testimony. And I can only wonder if jury intimidation caused the jury to give the verdict they ultimately did.
So, Dorothy, if you decide to take the next steps, what would it go to? Would it go to the Fifth Circuit Court or the Ninth Circuit Court out there? What's the next step?
So it would be the appellate court system. We could also try something within the superior court level, or the circuit court level. I'm sorry, they call the courts in Oregon trial courts, circuit courts. So we could try and get a new trial from the circuit court level, but most likely we probably would need to appeal it. And so it would still be a state law matter, and we would appeal it to a state court, but it would be appealed to a state court, if not the Supreme Court. It kind of depends on what direction we want to go.
Yeah, Andy, I got about a minute left, but when you're reporting on these things, do we have any integrity in journalism? Because if it was, the roles were flipped, if this was a MAGA rally and some, a left-wing reporter took the same abuse that you did, it'd be front page news.
Yeah, and that certainly has happened locally in Portland when there have been establishment journalists or left-wing independent journalists who have been assaulted in the course of their reporting on right-wing political groups. They are portrayed sympathetically, and the prosecutor's office will go hard after those criminal suspects, some of whom have been convicted. In my case, nobody was ever convicted for any of these number of attacks spanning back since 2019.
Wow. Well, I tell you, Andy, if you're ever up in a tight spot, you call me and my buddies. We've done some protection details in the past in some not so nice countries. We're pretty good at it. We're always got your back, buddy. Andy, Dorothy, we appreciate it.
Well, there's only going to be so much people are willing to take. You go jump through the hoops to do everything that you're legally supposed to do, calling the police, pressing charges, filing lawsuits. Then fascism shows up in the courtroom to fight against you. There's only so much of that you can put up with, and then afterwards, things start getting hairy. I'm going to read through the chat really quick and see all your guys' thoughts on this before we move forward to the next video. The next video is Dems expect a surprise from Trump's trials, celebrating his potential downfalls, folding their money before they can count it. That's what's actually happening. Matt, it's so backwards. Yeah. That's how it goes with Antifa. They act all violent, but at the same time, they're the victims. They're the victims. And I hate to even say that they're violent. They really are just throwing temper tantrums. They're just a bunch of crackhead 20-year-olds out there throwing temper tantrums. Just acting obnoxious, behaving aggressively. But if you break one right in front of his comrades, they all fold like wet tissue paper. They don't want that. You only got to make one an example. You break them like you're in prison. And the comrades are gone. They're gone because it's every man for yourself. Once you see one of your own get broken, that's how they get down, because they have no honor. That's how it is. And just like it says in the Bible about What is this? Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Yep. Well, that's the world we're living in right now. What's wrong is right and what's right is wrong. That's why everyone believes we're in the end of times. DCAT, I completely agree. Things are going to get spicy. They keep going. Wait a minute. I don't know why I can't read today. The way they're going, if it keeps going that way. That's what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, DCAT, that's how it's going to go. There's only so much you can do, and we've watched it over and over again. You try to do the right thing, and it doesn't work out. Look at Daniel Penny. Look at the department stores that are being robbed. They call the police don't do anything. The police department just quit in Minnesota because they can't even do their job. What's the point of risking your life for $22 an hour when you're not even allowed to do your job? There's no accountability. And that's only the criminals we have here. That's not even including the people coming across the border that are doing so unchecked. They want it, though. They want society to fail so they can come in and control everyone. They want it that way. But not everybody has enough self-control and enough patience to deal with criminals, so I think we're going to start seeing bleeding through the cracks. We're going to see people who are going vigilante. That's what I think is going to happen. I've been saying that for like a year, but I still believe it's going to happen. I think people are going to get pushed too far, and it'll start becoming the easier choice. Instead of sitting around being victimized, making police reports, nothing happening, getting robbed 2-3 times a week, and having your car stolen, your kids put in danger, and all this crap over and over and over again, eventually you're going to see something that looks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and you're really sick of ducks lately, and boom, it's going to happen. And then eventually that'll be the go-to. Every time somebody sees a duck, they're going to be, it's going to be time to go because people are pushed too far. They're being desensitized. They're being taught that criminals are going to get away with it, and if you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to be restricted in life. Everybody's being conditioned to that way, and eventually it'll just be easier to be a criminal than to do the right thing. We're going to see it. I think we're going to see it if things don't change. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom. What's up, High Plains Drifter? DCAT. Yeah, well, I'm not encouraging anything. I want everyone to be okay and whole and happy, no matter who they vote for or anything like that. I'm just expressing a hypothesis on what I see from covering this stuff every day. I just think that some people are going to let their emotions get the best of them. And I've seen human behavior quite a bit since doing this job, and I've seen patterns. I think that's how it's going to go. Destiny, please do a reaction video to Oliver's Rich Men North of Richmond. We already played it. We played it 2 days ago during the live. We had to kick YouTube out because they have too many rules for every little thing. But, yeah, we played it. We more or less did a reaction video. Tap at factions like Fallout. Yeah. That's how it goes. When times get tough, that's what happens. Everybody clicks up. What's up, Kung Fu Grasshopper? Happy freedom. Yeah, Ting Ting, I think so. I think people are just going to have enough of criminals and they're going to stop calling the police and they're going to start doing it themselves. I don't want that to happen, but I think that's what's going to happen. And maybe that's just from my own experience. When I was younger, I used to be heavily bullied. I used to be a grandma's boy till about 6th grade. I used to be kind of frail. I didn't have a man in my life to teach me to be a man, but thankfully I had my grandma at the time. Somebody to take care of me and whatnot. Eventually, I got bullied too much. And back in my day, you didn't do the dumb stuff that people do now at schools. And I had too much, and I decided to fight back. Telling people wasn't enough. And when you put a brick to someone's head, problems stop. And once I figured that out, fighting back became the regular thing. And then pretty soon it became too easy to make that choice. Couldn't really tell the difference between someone joking or being an asshole. All I know is if you joked with me too much, you were going to catch an uppercut. And that's how it was going to go, and that's how it went until I got old enough to go to jail. Then I went to jail over and over again for serving uppercuts for a good deal. And people were coming up asking for them left and right. And I just, I'm here to serve. And so then I went to jail like 4 or 5 times. And so then I got tired of doing that, went back to maybe we should be telling people and doing the right thing, but through my own experience and seeing human patterns from doing all of this, I just believe If you kick people while they're down long enough, eventually they're going to get up and give you an uppercut. Thank you so much, Mr. Beansy Beans, for gifting a sub over on Twitch. I really appreciate Mr. Beansy Beans. Thank you so much for all the support. You're awesome. Let's see. Shizm Timpool says we will fight. I never see Timpool live. I see him on Twitter all the time, but I never see that he's live. Salty Ragu Mole people are real. I seen that comment on a video a day or two ago that you left, and I was thinking, how many people read that and then question it? Like, go and Google it. Where's the mole people? Hey, I appreciate you, Shanti. Just reading through the chat really quick before we cover this next one. Alright, so this next video once again is titled Dems Expect a Surprise from Trump's Trials. I like this video. It has a kind of like highlight clips where it shows other blue team reporters, I guess we can call them, just seething over Trump's indictments and stuff. They're just so excited. They think he's going to prison. They think he's going to spend his whole life in prison, and people aren't going to be able to vote for him, and they can't beat MAGA, so they got to incarcerate it. And like, we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and get this started.
This is Ingram Angle from Washington tonight. Humiliating themselves. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Oh, they're so excited, they just can't hide it. They're almost glowing, waiting for their bundle of joy, arriving now in March.
Donald Trump already has a very packed legal calendar. You may have heard
this. Does. Another proposed trial date is now filling up Trump's calendar right in the thick of the GOP primaries in March. In fact, the date Fani Willis has proposed is the day before Super Tuesday. How do you think this is going over for the former president and his team right now?
That could force him to lose a very critical election window ahead of, actually determining who the nominee is.
A March 4th trial date for the disgraced 4 times indicted ex-president. Had to count there.
It's like they're all ready to pop. They do have that special glow. They're expecting that Trump's legal troubles will deliver a surprise next year.
This handicaps Donald Trump. It hurts Donald Trump. This is a general election challenge for the president that likely emboldens the incumbent Joe Biden.
These self-proclaimed defenders of democracy, they want you to believe that their priority is restoring respect and dignity to journalism and to politics. It's going to be justice for all. But when you listen closely, you see what they're really all about. They're really accusing Trump of what they themselves are, just vengeful ideologues who revel in the humiliation and shame of others.
And everything you're going to be able to see live on TV. They're going to be mugshots. They're going to be fingerprints.
Donald Trump will be fingerprinted. He will be photographed and end up with a mugshot.
The very first presidential mugshot.
These people are sick. How is a mugshot of the former president in any way necessary or in any way good for America? Are they really worried that he's going to disappear into the general population, or that as a 2024 presidential candidate that he's going to try to leave the country, flee? I half expect him to push for bail to be set at $1 billion. That'll show him the sick fantasy never ends.
Donald Trump will find it very difficult to even be given bail.
There's bail. That is the thing that he is not factoring in. Is if he continues speaking the way he has been speaking, one, if not more, of these judges will take action.
Will take action. Of course, for years, the humiliation squad has been itching to see not just that Trump mugshot, but also to have him behind bars.
You're saying that a judge could lock him up awaiting trial?
Will be incremental punishment.
The first thing Donald Trump has to do is go to jail.
He's now facing jail time in a whole bunch of different places.
Now, think about how strange and how sad it is to be a political analyst, and what you're hoping for most is to take an opposition candidate off the campaign trail. So no real debate, no real campaign, just to be silenced. If not put in actual prison, they ponder how to stop him from doing more so-called damage to America.
There's this question of how do you contain Donald Trump, Harry?
She could also revoke his bail and put him under house arrest.
House arrest, of course. Even that's not good enough for these vipers. So the big thinkers over at Salon describe Trump under house arrest and Trump being deprived of his phone as somewhat unsatisfying. But it actually gets worse. Writer Amanda Marcotte says, frankly, it's better for almost everyone if Trump actually loses his freedom from these threatening antics. It's better for almost everyone? For Trump to be in prison? Not be able to speak? Certainly the 74 million who voted for Trump in 2020 would beg to differ. Not that Salon actually considers those 74 million people to be actual human beings entitled to their own views. And as usual, as part of their act, Democrats always seize the opportunity to portray Donald Trump supporters as potential domestic terrorists. The country shouldn't be directed by them. It should be protected from them.
We had an increasing amount of security outside of the Fulton County Courthouse.
The security concerns around the courthouse and what might happen in Georgia as this case progresses.
She's reached out to the sheriffs for protection. She's notified the judges to have them keep their staff at home.
So what's really going on here? Could this be the pretext to justify not just limits on Trump's own speech, but 2024 limits on campaign rallies, campaigning at all, or even in-person voting?
Those poll workers in Georgia who were targets of such hate and terrible racism and threats of violence because they were unfairly maligned by Trump. And there's real concerns about elections this time around.
Violence is always looming on the horizon, especially in this moment.
If just 0.5% or even 1% of that 0.5% think that violence is the answer, they're going to go after these folks. This is very scary.
What's scary is that
It's very scary.
reason for being, for living, seems to be singularly focused on seeing Trump humiliated. And by the way, these fanatics aren't just giddy because they want to see Trump shamed in these trials and everything that will come with the trials. They also firmly believe that they're putting conservative populism on trial as well. Now, we all know, and I certainly know as a former criminal defense attorney, that anything can happen when juries are involved, even in what are obviously politically motivated prosecutions. But anyone predicting that the pig pile that we're seeing on Trump, predicting that that's going to lead to the demise of the America First movement, well, that person himself will be humiliated down the road. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Well, like I was saying, they're getting all excited, trying to fold their money before they can count it. I think they're going to be disappointed. I don't think they're going to be able to prove anything to put the Orange Eagle behind bars. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. But I like the little collage of videos they had there showing them talking about how if they put Trump in prison, that's good for everyone. I remember when they said that about banning his Twitter account. If they could do it to the president, they can do it to me or you. No problem. No publicity. No money for lawyers. No money or connections to go and dig yourself out of that hole. They'll just come through and we'll be gone. They could just do it to any of us if they can do it to the president. But nope, they're over there celebrating. They're celebrating. They're, this is great. This is great. Anytime somebody disagrees with the government or wants to change things potentially for better, oh no, we'll just incarcerate them. Don't bother running for president. They'll just put you in prison. Everybody's like, yeah, that's great. And then everybody supports them like they showed, demonize them. They're talking about every time there's an indictment, anytime Trump's going somewhere, they always ask the city or they show during the press briefing, so what are you guys doing to prepare? What are you doing to prepare? Trump's going to be in town. His MAGA reporters are going to be insurrecting all over the place. Got to get those gates. Got to call in National Guard. Got to make it a big deal. And every time they do that, nobody gets arrested except for glowies. It's only feds getting arrested because MAGA people are not violent. They are not violent people. We've watched them get attacked and not even fight back. Like, they are not violent. MAGA people are not violent. They're there to make America great again. What part of that sounds like a war zone? Like, but that's how they sell it. That's how they sell it. On the other hand, everywhere where Antifa is, things are burning down, things are getting spray painted, people are being hurt, people are being intimidated. No, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that. Look at Andy No. They don't want to talk about that. And you and Matt, you're talking about Ted Wheeler. Yeah, in Portland, the mayor, he got maced hanging out with Antifa. He was hanging out with Antifa. He was trying to show some love to the protesters, and he got maced right across the face, and that was about the end of that. He wanted to try and prove he was one of them. But then he found out it's not about racism. That's how they sell it. And they sell the hopes and dreams like it's about racism, but it's not. It's about being a fascist. That's why they call each other comrades, because they're a bunch of commies. That's alright, we don't cry for commies over here. Let's see. Astral Hammer, Michigan will never have another conservative in office ever again thanks to passing Proposal 2. I didn't see that. I'm not doubting you at all. I just know how corrupt things are here, so I don't doubt you at all, but I don't know what Proposal 2 is. I'll have to Google that. What's up, Christy Star? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you joining us on the live. Just reading through chat really quick before we move forward. Pumpkin media is poison and scared to death. Yeah, they had I can't think of his name. He's a crybaby. He cries on Twitter all the time. And they played that clip of him. He's like, it's so scary. I'm scared. The Orange Eagle's coming to get me. I can't sleep at night. When I close my eyes, I just see Trump's face. I don't know what it's like to be soft and pathetic like that, but man, it seems rough. Seems rough. Serum, Trump could walk into the court with a trained attack eagle in his fireworks. Just talons out, ready to go. I wouldn't doubt it. Could you imagine if he showed up at a rally, came out with an eagle on his shoulder? You know what people would do? They would blow a gasket. They'd blow a nugget. That's what they'd do. And turn their pants into popcorn cookers. It was just blow their nuggets. They'd be like, holy, did you see the Orange Eagle coming out being assisted by America? People would love that. He could do it. DeRosa, good. He made Mace great again. Yeah, Ted Wheeler. He did, didn't he? That was hilarious. DeRosa, no bail for Trump, but Antifa BLM thugs are set free. Yeah, I don't even think they have to bond out. Most of the time, they just get the charges dropped. So you don't even need bond. Mr. Beansy Beans, these idiots audition for douchey commercials. Yes, I know, Mr. Beansy Beans. The ads over on Twitch are terrible. They are terrible. The people that you gift memberships to just don't realize how grateful they should be, Mr. Beansy Beans, because over on Twitch, you might watch 5 ads in a row. 3 of them are about the plague and 2 of them are about the jab. Or you might have one about Old Man Walter telling you how scared you should be. And that's it. Twitch is so woke. They're so woke. Showing pregnant men just rubbing their belly. It's rough. It's rough on the ad reel over on Twitch. What's up, Soul for Real? Happy Freedom. What's up, Sir Leviticus? Happy Freedom. Sir Leviticus, wait, so you're saying that he got maced in public by another human being and that other human being isn't facing charges? Mind-blowing world we live in. Yeah, and that was years ago. It might be different now, but if we went back to 2020 and all that, where everybody was crying about racism and all that, anything went back then. Chisholm miners on an island. Yep. I know, I got that Rich Men from Richmond song stuck in my head for like 2 days now. I was actually listening to it before the live just to soothe my brain for a bit there. There's too much truth in it. Too much. Especially where it says they want to know what you do, they want to know what you think, they don't think that you know, but I know that you do. That part right there, I'm like, that's us watching the live right there. That's us right there. I sing that part until my voice cracks. What's up, Adrian? Happy freedom. Mustafa, Twitch sucks on ads. Yeah, Twitch ads suck. They do. It's still better than dealing with YouTube community guidelines, so nothing is worse than that. And the website is commercial free. It is. The website gets the best live stream, has the best chat. There's no advertisement. We'll get people over there eventually. So this next video is titled Blindsided. Entire, I don't know why I can't read. I'm telling you, I'm having a rough day. Entire police department in Minnesota City quits. I read that title and was so not shocked. I'm surprised we have police at all. I thought for sure we'd be in the green zones by now. Let's see. All right, hooligans, let's get this started.
Now, there's an entire police department in Minnesota, a small town, just called it quits. The city says they have 0 applications for any new cops to come on board. Madison Allworth with me. This isn't just a local problem, is it?
Right. I mean, that's shocking to hear, but the reality is we're dealing with this across the U.S. Departments struggling with retention, and as a result, then having people come in is also an issue. So this really started back in 2018, but in the past couple of years, it's gotten much worse. So 65% of police agencies reported an increase in retirements between 2020 and 2022. And then this part is even more concerning. 66% reported an increase in resignations. So people leaving before their pensions kick in. And then, like I said, the problem is there aren't young officers stepping up to fill the gaps. I got these numbers that you're seeing here from a police source here in New York City. These are the number of people who took the NYPD civil service exam to become police officers. In 2021, over 14,000 people took that test. The next year, less than half took that exam. And for the exam given in March of 2023, my source tells me the NYPD expected 3,000 to take it, and only 1,300 people actually did. Meanwhile, you have towns like Goodhue, where everyone in the police department is leaving.
I think we're all a little bit blindsided by it, but
I'm sure they're blindsided. They had no idea that there was any discrepancies.
So the police chief and all of the officers resigned, citing low pay. Police Chief Josh Smith, who will continue to serve until August 23rd, said the pay of $22 an hour is just not competitive when you look at other departments nearby that make $30 an hour. Higher pay is working for some police departments. Going to reference a story that Ashley just did, San Francisco. So the city supervisors, they raised police pay, retention bonuses, and overtime. Now the latest class of recruits there, it's the largest the city has seen in 3 years. But even with that, they are still 600 officers short in San Francisco, and the recommended number is 2,182.
Wow. $22 an hour. And that's in the Minnesota town.
Yes.
They can get 30 next door.
If they go next door. And that's what a lot of these officers did.
And they all left at once.
Yes.
Wow, that's leaving the city high and dry.
It really does. And the mayor has said that they're going to work hard to fill the gap. But
sure.
Clearly, if small as Goodhue and as big as NYPD, everyone's struggling.
Got it. Madison, thank you very much indeed.
Not surprising. Not surprising at all. $22 an hour to be a cop. It's crazy because when all the protests were going on and stuff, they weren't saying that. They were talking about how the police are millionaires. You guys remember that? They were in the streets screaming, especially in New York. They were in New York saying that. The police are millionaires. They make $100,000, $200,000 a year, all this stuff. Well, in Minnesota, they make $22 an hour. You can make more in a factory without putting your whole life in danger. You a little percentage of danger working in a factory, but not like a cop. Not like a cop, where every person you potentially stop could kill you. I don't know. And then they get up there and cry, oh, we were blindsided. We had no idea that the entire department was going to just quit on us. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you had a whole fleet of people that just pretended everything was peaches and rainbows every day. And one day they just all left together and you had no idea that that was going to happen. I'm sure. I've seen management. I've seen how management works. Just because you're in a police department, you could be the same person working at McDonald's. People are flaky. They're flaky, and management doesn't care. And that's part of what's wrong with being an employee in most locations. So you go there, you find problems, you have suggestions and improvement, could save the company money, you could make things more efficient. You tell management and they go, shut up and do what you're told. That's it. Don't use your brain. Shut your mouth and do what you're told. And then things go to shit. And you're like, well, I told you, you could have prevented this. And then management gets mad and they might fire you because you know more than they do, or you're the one that has to work overtime while they're clocking out on time. Yeah. And then they get up there and cry, that lady. Oh, we were blindsided. We had no idea that we had 20 disgruntled cops that were getting underpaid. I'm sure no one bitched about that. There wasn't no complaints, I'm sure. Total blindsided. Matt, so bad that they're not even waiting for their pension that they paid into. Yeah. Well, that's a great point. If everything was so blindsided that the whole department decided to leave their pension behind, because that's not a common thing, not here in Michigan at least. There's nowhere where you're working where you're going to get benefits, let alone a pension. And so to pay into a pension and then leave early to where you're not even going to, you're leaving it behind, things must be pretty bad. Things must be pretty bad. Just reading through the chat really quick before we move on to the next video. This next video is titled New York City Bans TikTok on Government-Owned Devices. This will be the last video that we show on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, make your way over to anywhere else. We're live on Twitch, Kick, Odyssey, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com. Vacate the YouTube platform. We only got one video left for that communist place. Jeb, it's kind of hard to do your job when you're always at fault and disrespected continuously. I agree. And a lot of Americans feel that way. Look at the song that we were just talking about. There's multiple mentions of what it's like for the average American as an employee. I think most people feel the same way. Work your ass off just to not even be able to afford anything. Go to work and be treated like shit. Go home, government's treating you like shit. Can't talk to your neighbors because you guys treat each other like shit because you didn't vote for the same guy or whatever the differences may be. We're all so divided right now. People feel really beat down. Really beat down all across the country. DeRosa, Minnesota, hiring social workers en masse. Yep, you gotta go and pat the soft little booties of all the criminals. Don't arrest them. You gotta speak softly to them. So you're too aggressive in your approach, and that's what's wrong. It's your fault that they're criminals, not their fault. That's how they get down in those blue cities. DeRosa, help, I was robbed. Quick, call Dr. Phil. We need an intervention. Where's the catch me outside girl? We need help. American woman, the cops should sue. What would they sue for? I guess it depends. In Michigan, you ain't getting away with nothing. Your employer can come slap you across the face and fire you, and ain't nothing gonna happen. Nobody's gonna do anything. There's not a single soul that's gonna stand up for you over here. But Minnesota's a different place, so I don't know. Maybe they could get away with a lawsuit. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom. Matthew, you can't comment on Odyssey. I see you on Odyssey. You must have figured it out. You must have got it figured out. Patrick, I heard cats with a broom into the ocean. I've never heard those lyrics before. It's got to be song lyrics, right? MT Coiner, I get paid $22 an hour to paint walls. That's badass. I've done quite a bit of painting in my life. Quite a bit. $22 an hour to do that is pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, I definitely, if I could get $22 an hour painting walls versus being a cop, and not just any cop, but a cop in Minnesota, you'd see my ass painting walls. That's what I'd be doing. I don't know. I'm not against it. You put some headphones in, painting walls it can be a dream job. It can be a shit job. There is bad days, I'm sure, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that if you can get in a flow of things, I'll just be in my own head working 6-7 hours past, don't even realize it. Kevin, I love painting. It's so relaxing. Yeah, it just depends, because there's certain situations where painting is not great. Like if you have to condition the walls, or like painting block and you have to seal the block first and it's messy, and especially if the property's not yours, so then you got to worry about saving all their stuff, especially if it's a woman's place and there's a lot of decorative stuff all over the place, so you're constantly moving shit. There's ups and downs to it, but I would definitely be painting before I'd be a cop. Schism, if you paid the cops better, you wouldn't have to deal with these schmucks. Well, that's kind of it's a double-edged sword, because the people in charge of the officers that are in the streets tell them to not even make arrests. Half the time they tell them not to stop individuals. You have a fleet of individuals running out of a department store, arms full of merchandise, and the police just watch it happen. Because if they go over there and arrest them and the person trips and falls and gets hurt, now they're suing the police department. Woke judge, woke governor, woke mayor, whoever's going to step in, say the police department was at fault, and make it all their problem. So the cops just standing there. So, I mean, you could pay them $30 an hour versus $22 an hour, but they're still not going to be better cops. They'll just be cops that get paid more. I think they do deserve more than $22 an hour, but I don't think it necessarily correlates with us having to deal with criminals or necessarily bad cops. I think a lot of cops becoming bad cops, some people are just bad people. They just have intentions of doing bad things. But I think cops get cycled too much to the same area. They, at least here, if a cop lives in an area, when the cop is working, they have him patrol that area, him or her, patrol that area because they're from there. They can tell if something's out of place. They can tell if something suspicious is going on because they live in the area. And so they generally have a cop patrol that area. Well, that seems like it makes sense. But what if that cop has a lot of problems with neighbors? Or they grew up in the area and they still live there. So everyone they got bullied by in school or any of these personal situations, this is still a person walking around with the authority to kidnap you and detain you and all this stuff legally as an officer. But they're still a person with feelings. They might take that out on their small community, either because they're just burned out, they've been in the area too long, they have personal grudges against their fellow citizens in their town. Any of the above can happen, and then they start to push that line. And I was talking about this a lot when we were covering the George Floyd trial because of the same thing. The police get worn down being in criminal areas. They see criminals doing criminal things every day, so then they start to get in the habit of just assuming everyone is a criminal. But then all the people who live in the city, who are constantly being harassed by cops, who are not criminals, but cops are burned out from dealing with criminals, they start to hate the police because they're tired of being roughed up for no reason. So then you have people that don't trust the police and they misbehave, and then you have cops that misbehave because they're tired of all the criminals in town. And so you have these two forces that all look the same fighting. And then I think that's how we ended up with the George Floyd situation, outside of the details. The details obviously were unique, but I think that's what happens in most communities. And that's why you have radical cops, and then you have people who are not criminals who end up being not only treated like criminals, but sometimes getting killed in the arrest or the traffic stop just because it's too much. It's just too much going on. There's too much overreach, and it's just making people burned out. It's just too much. I feel like cops wouldn't be burned out on citizens if they weren't monitoring every little thing they do and just let people be people and just ease back a little bit. The same way as, vice versa. I think that we're all watching each other too much. Let's see. Schism, Pink Floyd, something like that. Anyways, we're going to move on to this next video. It's titled New York City Bans TikTok on Government-Owned Devices. This is the last video we're going to show on YouTube. After this, we're going to be showing a video about Alec Baldwin and about how he's getting charged again for killing that person on the movie set of Rust. You don't want to miss it, so make your way over away from YouTube and all that. Use the Linktree link in the description to find all the different platforms that we're live on. You can also make donations if you would like to support the live, join membership programs and all that. I ask that you join Gilded because Gilded is free and has lots of resources. It's where the hooligans keep the conversation going 24/7, so definitely join Gilded. But make your way from YouTube. This is the last video we're showing here. Once again, New York City bans TikTok on government-owned devices.
New York City has banned TikTok on government-owned devices due to security concerns. Wednesday's announcement meant it joined a number of US cities and states in placing restrictions on the short video sharing app. The administration of New York City Mayor Eric Adams said TikTok posed a security threat to the city's technical networks. The city's agencies must now remove TikTok within 30 days. Employees will also lose access to the app and its website on city-owned devices and networks. TikTok is owned by Chinese tech giant ByteDance and used by more than 150 million Americans. Some US lawmakers have called for a nationwide ban due to worries about possible Chinese government influence. TikTok said it has not shared and would not share US user data with the Chinese government. It also claimed to have taken substantial measures to protect the privacy and security of TikTok users. Top US security officials, including FBI Director Christopher Wray and CIA Director William Burns, have said TikTok poses a threat. Many US states and cities have restricted TikTok on government devices. Montana recently passed a bill banning the app across the state. The rule is due to go into effect in January, but has been challenged legally.
I don't know. They try to act like banning TikTok is a good thing, but then it keeps getting challenged because of freedom of speech. They're saying that it's the government censoring people from being able to express themselves on the internet, which is an infringement of your First Amendment. But they sure don't say that stuff when you're getting community guideline strikes and shit like that. Where's your First Amendment when that stuff's happening? No, they don't say anything about that. But I don't believe that the government's doing that to look out for the best of everyone. I think it's a part of demonizing TikTok. So the government and its employees, the federal workers, all make these decisions and stuff on policy and how the employees should behave, carry themselves, how they should live their life. They have full control over them. Why do they just let this slip out? Oh, by the way, we don't let federal employees have TikTok on their phone. Is that it? Is that the only control? Is that the only thing they're not allowed to do on their phone? Or is there like a long list of stuff that federal employees are not supposed to be doing on their phone? Because I imagine that TikTok isn't the first rule on the list there. Don't have any TikTok on your phone. I'm sure there's lots of stuff that they're not supposed to do on the internet. So why put this out there? Why tell everyone, hey, we're not letting federal workers use TikTok? Because I think it just demonizes TikTok. Like they were talking so much about the TikTok ban that didn't just ban TikTok, but it banned Telegram and a bunch of other things. But that all died down. They don't want to talk about it. But they named the bill the TikTok ban bill to demonize TikTok. I think it's because they don't control TikTok. They control everything else. But TikTok is owned by a Chinese company who doesn't take orders from the American government. So I wonder if it's just for demonizing TikTok because of those reasons. Because there's still a lot of people that firmly believe that you can catch content on TikTok that you can't see anywhere else because of the universal community guidelines that are between all the other major platforms. The only ones that it doesn't apply, half of it don't apply to Twitter. There's still reasons to be suspended and banned on Twitter, but you can say most things on Twitter that you can't say anywhere else. Same as you can post footage on TikTok that you can't post anywhere else. Now, I know that they are cracking down on that. I had posted a video on TikTok that was Old Man Walter at that dinner where he was saying that, oh, thanks for joining us. I just sold a bunch of state secrets and blah, blah, blah. And then he said he was kidding. I had the whole video just like I have on YouTube, where it includes the fact that he's kidding, or, you know, I don't want to say fact, him phrasing that he was kidding. But TikTok took the video down saying that it was misinformation, and that was new because that video had been posted for weeks and weeks or whatever, and it just recently got taken down for misinformation. And until that happened, there was no policy for misinformation. So I don't know if they're changing things around, but when the Paris riots was going on, they were showing all that stuff on TikTok, while on YouTube those videos were being taken down. So if you went to YouTube to see what was happening in Paris, you couldn't, because the videos were breaking community guidelines. And everybody looks at YouTube like it's a video archive library. It's not. If you think of it like that, then you also must know that they're rewriting the archive to tell you what's true and what's not true. Because not all videos that land on YouTube stay on YouTube, especially if they're true. And so you can go on TikTok and see what's actually happening, because the algorithm isn't smart enough to take things down right away. And a lot of things don't get taken down. But on YouTube, anything that they don't agree with, boom, comes down. And the punishments are harsh. So if you were a person that posted 3 videos of the French riots, or whatever you want to call it, when it first happened, you post 3 in a row, you catch those strikes in a row, now your channel doesn't exist, and viewers who consider YouTube a video archive library don't even know that you ever existed. So they've never seen your content. They don't know that Paris is on fire and stuff like that. Now, after a while, they let stuff slide. But anytime something new happens, they use ridiculous community guidelines to pull that stuff down. They'll say that it's dangerous content, it promotes terrorism, and goes on and on and on. There's so many community guidelines that they could bring in a suitcase full of rules that you broke because you showed a dumpster fire. Because there's so many rules. That's why they do that. So they can censor you, and they can choose a plethora of reasons why they pull your stuff down. But ultimately, it's just to censor you. And a lot of times, we've seen it many times where they've gone through and pulled a whole bunch of content down of a specific subject, and then the government comes out with a board of people on that specific subject who all play video clips every time they're live, trying to tell us what to think and how to feel about a certain situation or subject, when we all used to have videos on YouTube, but they got pulled down so the government could do that. So they could go on live TV with the only existing videos and rewrite history for you and tell you how to think and feel about it. We've seen it many times. YouTube is obviously an extension of the government. It's obvious. It is so obvious. If you've been with us for any amount of time, you would know that that's obvious. So I think that video that we just covered is just really to demonize TikTok. And I'm not saying TikTok's great. I don't think it's great. I'm just telling you why I think this is all happening. And that our government wants all of our information, not another country seeing all of our dirty laundry being aired on their platform. Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense when you put it in that kind of perspective. You can't say a whole lot of stuff on any other platform that the government doesn't like, because they'll take the content down. But you could go to TikTok and bitch about the government all day and it'll stay up, because really, what does China care about Americans being mad at the American government? And then at the same time, the American government's like, what the fuck, China? Like, take that stuff off your platform. We don't want Americans bitching about us. And China's like, sorry, we do what we want over on TikTok. So, I mean, again, I'm not saying that TikTok's great, but I think that's what's going on there. Just reading through the chat really quick before we cut YouTube off and we continue on with the next video. Once again, if you're on YouTube, leave the platform for good, really. But at least for the next video, because we're going to be wrapping things up over on YouTube. You can use the link at the top of the chat there to head right over to the live we are running right now over on Rumble. Otherwise, use the Linktree link in the description. Find what platform suits you best. We are live in many places, and they're all better than YouTube, so it shouldn't be very difficult for you to find a spot you like. DCAT, YouTube is a data collection company, and it always has been, and everything is up for sale. It's true. It's true. I think Elon Musk purchased Twitter to use it as a data collection source to develop AI. They could take all of our thoughts and opinions and put it in a bubble, stick it in a folder, download it to AI. AI knows what we're thinking and feeling. That's what I think he purchased Twitter for. That's why I think he doesn't care about rebranding and all of that stuff. It already has so much data collected that they're going to build the AI, and eventually the AI will be a companion on Twitter. Expect to see that a lot more. It's already like that on Snapchat, I guess. Snapchat has their own AI, and now it's like a companion while you're on the app. You can interact with it and stuff. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've seen a couple videos on it, and expect all social media to become that way. So when you go into, say, Facebook, right, and it says, what are you thinking? Because they want you to use the platform. They want you to type what's on your mind, what's in your head, what are you eating, where are you, what events do you have planned? You know, it wants that. Well, instead of it just being a box that says, what are you thinking for you to make a post, instead it'll be AI, and it will say something to you, and then what you say back will become the post. It'll feel more engaging, like there's a greeter there, someone to greet you every time you go to social media. Eventually that's what it's going to be like. Probably I'd give it another 3 weeks or so, and we're going to start seeing that. They're putting AI into everything. On the website, I'm getting crazy advertisements to inject AI into the website, and I haven't done it because I don't understand it, and if I was going to use AI, I would develop my own instead of using someone else's. But they want it bad. They're like, stick AI in your website and have it run all this crap for you, and have your users be able to use it. And I'm like, I don't know. We're gonna wait on that. We didn't make the website for all of that. No, we don't need people collecting data on us. Kalikaku, good point. They are commies. They want to get people mad about TikTok bans. Let's see. Chi-coms or data mining the US users. TikTok doesn't allow Chinese version to post anything that is allowed here. Yeah, their version, which is called something else. It's not called TikTok. It's called I can't even remember now. It's called something else. But their TikTok shows kids obeying their parents, kids getting good grades, kids doing chores, kids pursuing careers, and those are the popular videos on Chinese TikTok. Where our TikTok, right now, a lot of it is women exposing themselves in secretive ways to anybody and everybody scrolling on TikTok. And I think that's crazy, because if it was a man exposing himself to just anybody out in the open, there would be some charges being pressed. But because it's women, they're showing their hoo-ha, they're showing their back door, they're showing all just right there on TikTok. And I think that's crazy. But that's what happens on our version of TikTok. Nothing good. Nothing good. It's a little bit of conspiracy and a whole lot of selling feet pics. Some cat videos here and there. That's about it. Elder Zoomer, it's a key logger. Yeah. I didn't know what that was until I got my identity stolen. That was rough. Ting Ting MeWe? No. MeWe is something else. Their version of TikTok is called, I want to say it's something with a D. I can't remember what it is. I don't think it's MeWe though. Terran program is AI is programmed to absorb the info that you share, so be aware of its source. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a fun, engaging way to collect all your data, because having a little post box that says, hey, what are you thinking, isn't working anymore. We're all numb to it. So now having an AI friend to have a conversation with is just so it can log all of your data. Don't give them ideas. Oh, I'm not giving them ideas. I'm on the internet like all day, and so I see a lot of stuff. DeRosa, the government needs to feed Cherry Crush NPC some emoji foods. You crack me up, because there's a lot of Twitter is going ham about the whole NPC trend that's over on TikTok. And Cherry Crush was the first one that I seen. Cherry Crush TV was the first one I seen doing that for a long time, for like months. And people would show up and crap all over her for doing that. And now everybody's doing it on TikTok. And I think it's because Twitter made that famous. Let's read through chat really quick, and then we are cutting off YouTube and moving forward. Mr. Beans and Beans Snatch chat. Yeah, I don't use Snapchat. Snapchat is for cheaters. That's all it is. Otherwise, your messages and videos and stuff wouldn't disappear after reading it. Who are you? Who are you, Tom Cruise? Are you 007? You need your messages to disappear after you read them? Mr. Secret Person, you? You know what I mean? Like that. Only liars need stuff like that. Liars and cheaters and stuff like that need a platform that when you communicate to each other, the messages disappear so nobody else can see it. Ooh, those secrets you got. Like, come on, man. That stuff is so stupid. I've never used Snapchat. All right, hooligans, for all of you guys over here on YouTube, we're cutting you off. Use that link at the top. Go over to Rumble. I'll drop the Linktree link one more time for you hooligans. There you go. The whole top of the Linktree. It'll take you everywhere we're live right now. But I suggest you go to Rumble or jeffmaclive.com because those are the best places to watch. Also on the Linktree, you are welcome to make donations, join membership programs, all that stuff. Scroll down the list. Get you a cool hooligan shirt like I got on right now at the merch store, or a Screaming Goat t-shirt because those are cool too. You can go check that stuff out, but I ask that you join Gilded. Gilded's free. We got a news board for you to take advantage of, free resource of all the news going on around the world from all platforms. Plus the hooligans are keeping the conversation going 24/7, so definitely go join Gilded. All right, hold tight. Hold your horses, or whatever they identify as. We're cutting off YouTube. You hear me over here flipping my chapstick? I'm stressed, okay? Don't judge me. I'll wait for the live to catch up. No mustard.